right, guys. So now is the time. PSAR V5. I want to thank, first of all, everyone who's joined PSAR version 5. It's a lot of old users who were on the sidelines waiting for V5 to come out and waiting for that full automation, which you guys all voted for, or most voted for the full automation, and V5 is really that vision fully realized and making it easy for you guys to customize how you use your V5, how you set it up, and just making it easy to customize those settings. But customizing settings is very important, so we're gonna really get into that. And first, I just want to talk about our new version 1.1. All right, this is version 1.1 is really from a lot of feedback from you guys, and I really want to help everyone sort of risk off, right? We don't want to have that default setting that you start with. I know there's a lot of new users out there who you don't want to have to start getting into settings and all that right away. So what we've done is we've taken that degen setting and we've moved it down to a default of higher risk setting. Okay, so instead of being degen for short degen and long degen, now it's set to higher settings. So it risks off on, and as you'll see, I'm going to be talking about the meat strategy, which is really cool. I'm really excited to show you guys that. But the whole thing about the meat strategy is that degen is typically where we see the tops, right? Like you can see on this example here, degen is where the top is occurring. So you don't want to be necessarily, taking all the trades at degen. So yeah, we're risked off, and you can see. Let me just show you very quickly here on our. So you can see this is our new default, right? And make sure when you're upgraded, you can see V1.1 on your when you can see that indicator. Okay, but yeah, right now at our default we're long higher, right? We're not getting too crazy. But if you do want to be able to take more trades, you can see I can go long highest, and we can take a few more trades there, right? And so this is nice, right? We don't mind that. We like taking a few more trades, but by default we're going to be down at that long higher. And so it's up to you guys. If you want to put on the risk, if you're feeling more confident in the market, in the conditions, whatever it is, in the pair that you're trading, you can make that conscious decision to move up to highest, but by default, we're going to be at that higher default setting. Okay. And the other thing about it is I've just updated all the settings, right? I've just been really learning how all the different pairs work with, especially with ADX and SAR distance. And so I've really gone in and made sure that we're catching less tops, less bottoms, but at the same time, this is important to know that default settings are not going to work in all cases with all pairs, right? There's big differences between BTC and like we say a shit coin, like SNX or AVAX or something even worse, Dent, right? Something way down the list there. So yeah, you want to be able to customize, and we're going to get into all that today. All right, guys. And so with version 1.1, okay, I also wanted to show you guys the new settings menu. Okay, I've done a lot here to make it more user friendly. Okay, and so when you go to settings, right, you click the gear. Okay, when you scroll down past all these all the default settings, the trend settings. Okay, now we've got our advanced bot platform settings here. Okay, and so this is really where if you're having troubles with your alerts, right, you've selected any alert and it's not working. There are some strange formatting for the ticker, right? The symbol. that can occur, especially with futures. And so if you're on 3 commas, you can select Binance futures or FTX. Okay, and this will allow you to your 3 commas to work with those two. And if it doesn't work, you can select 3 commas override ticker, and then you can put in whatever the requirement is. Like, we can't cover everyone with these settings, right? So if you happen to be using something like KuCoin has a USDT-M, right? So this is something you're just going to have to go USDT-M on that custom override ticker. Okay, just to keep that in mind. If all else fails, use that override ticker. Wick Hunter is a lot better, right? It's a lot more. It uses the ticker from TradingView in most part, except for FTX features. So you can just select that. All right, and just one more thing, you may have noticed up here on the table, you can see the formatting that is used. So if you go on 3 commas, you see their guide, try to match it up with what. If it doesn't match with what you see here, try your futures, and then if that doesn't work, you can do your override ticker, and it will always show up here, your current chart symbol that it's going to be putting out to the alerts. All right, just a handy little tool there. Okay, but we try to cover as many people's configurations as possible, but we're not going to be able to get everyone. And then the last thing, okay, and this is a new feature also for V5 Advanced, is you've got your change Wick Hunter risk setting with trend. Okay, I got this right up at the top. So if you want to use these risk profiles for Wick Hunter, you check this box. Okay, this sends out a lot more alerts. You don't want this on unless you're on Wick Hunter and you're using trend. If you're using this, make sure that you have these trends filled out, right? If you don't have a risk profile that isn't filled out, your Wick Hunter isn't going to work. So make sure you have these defined on your Wick Hunter setup, and then you can go in and choose these. And something, this is a really interesting ability to be able to customize which risk profiles hit with each trend setting. By default, of course, very high for degen, high for higher. That makes sense. But something that Wick told me that makes a lot of sense to me is he wants a different settings for long and short. So maybe you could do a very high, and then like a high here, and those would be your long settings. And then you can go short. You can have it as your medium, and then low, right? So you can have short settings that way, and just use those profiles that way. You have 5 to use. You don't have the full 8, so you're going to have to kind of divide and conquer that way. But it's worth looking at. Maybe you don't want to be as aggressive with shorts or with longs. To be honest, with the capitulation event coming up, maybe you want to be have less DCA, that kind of stuff on your longs. Okay, so I think that can lead to some interesting configurations there. All right, and so I have this great slide for you guys set out. Okay, we're going to post these slides, but how to start, right? This is something I really want to make sure everyone is able to understand this. We like Miner's Arms. He was asking me how many minute chart. If you're brand new to STP and SAR, you don't necessarily know. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this on the chart. All right, so yeah, when you're first starting out, you want to have on a 1 minute chart. We're trading SAR on the 1 minute. This seems to be what's best. And so make sure you have that selected. And for indicators, you go down to your invite only, and we're under STP V5 here, under Swing Trade Pros. But you can see most of our indicators are listed under STP, and that's SAR V5, Swing Trade Pros. Some of you were signed up under our old indicator listing, and now that will be red. Make sure you go for the green, okay? And then once you're done that, you're going to select your bot platform, And then for 3 commas, you use your email token, and for Profit Trailer as well. For Wick Hunter, it's called the UUID. And so basically same idea. It's like an email token. And then, yeah, if you are using 3 commas, you're going to take your long bot IDs and put them in here, and then short IDs and put them in here. Now you can just start out, and I said this in the setup video, just having one bot for long, one bot for short. Start there. Don't go crazy at the beginning, right? You want to see if this works, right? Create an any alert, right? You want to just create that any alert with that condition. Let some orders come through. Is it working, right? Don't even apply capital. Just see, is it working? Do you need to do some customizations like in the advanced bot platform settings menu? And before you go crazy and you have all these different bots and alerts set up and for multiple pairs and all that. So this is really, take that chance when you just have 1 or 2 pairs set up, see if it works. And then once it works, then you can start to get into different bot IDs or different risk profiles, that sort of thing. All right, so that's just what a good way to start. And then the other thing, I can't stress this enough, is when you're first starting out with a bot, and I think our VIPs know this well, right? When you're first starting off with a bot, this is the test phase and the education phase. We don't want to be going in with a 20% base order, safety order. Start small. You'll get wrecked. Yeah. You got to start small. Really, it's just 1% of your account, right? If you have a $2,000 account, this is a 20 base order safety order. $10,000 account, it's $100 base order safety order. Just low risk. Try it out. A low account balance as well is a good idea, right? Just see how it goes with those small orders before you start to add to your account balance, before you start to lean in with a larger position size on your base order safety order. Okay, just test out. Once you get repeatable results, and it's working across multiple pairs, that sort of thing, you're confident in your setup, and you got that education, then you can start adding to your position size. Okay, and this is really, I top out at 2.5%, 3%, and the most, in an extreme situation, I might go 5%, but never more than that. And really, my rule of thumb is to never go over 1x my account. I don't like to even have all DCAs hit, all pairs hit. I don't like to go over account balance, because then all of a sudden, especially on Binance futures, you have a liquidation point that's moving closer and closer as you DCA, and it's not good for your trading psychology. And of course, you can get liquidated. So futures is useful because you can get that extra space, extra room when you need to lean in and DCA out. But the main advantage of futures is that you can short and do it well. So try to just stay off. Some guys in our group are max 2x. That I would say that's the max you should go, is 2x your account balance with all DCAs hit, and so that you can sustain at least 50% move. With 1x, you can take 100% move. So that's really what we want to stress. Certainly in your test phase, never even get close to 1x, right? This is where you want to just be completely risk off. But even as you scale in, right? When you see those repeatable results, 2%, 2.5% is good. You can be more aggressive with your settings, with your SAR settings, right? I'm going to show you guys that in the next few slides, how to turn on the risk. And then and then having more pairs, right? You could start off 4 pairs, 6 pairs, that kind of thing. But when you have a good setup, then you can start to get into 10 or more pairs. Okay, and some of us are using 20, 30 pairs. But when you're doing that, you have to be really careful. Your max active is at a 4 or a 5, right? You don't want to have too many pairs that can bag up all at once, because the market moves together. It's all a crypto market. So you can find that in an extreme event, right? And especially fake outs and wicks that are meant to trap you. You don't want to have everything bagging up at the same time. You want to just have minimal bags when that happens. All right. And hopefully with these settings, I'm going to show you guys, you're not getting those bags. So let's work on that. But always make sure, that it is possible to bag up. And so have your DCA ready to protect you and get you out, and try not to intervene. And I show in the setup video, DCA down to 30%. So if you have that, you're just let the DCA do its thing, and try not to intervene unless you see like we were talking about that range between 18 and 24K. If we lose that 18K level, then, and you have some long bags, yeah, then maybe you can consider cutting a few of those if you happen to be stuck in anything, because you don't want to get caught when we go into a new range. All right, so that's basically it for that. And then our next slide, we're getting into how to risk off, right? This is something where you're when you first start out, especially, right? You don't want to try to go degen. This is when we're first starting out, we want to be low risk. So that's why I'm showing you guys low risk before we get into the meat strategy. So I like to really emphasize that default settings don't always work, right? This is each pair is kind of different, right? They especially BTC compared to alts, there's a huge difference in volatility and how the bot reacts to them. So it's fine, you're new, you can start off with defaults, they're decent, right? But I hope that everyone, even when they're just getting started with PSAR, is that you're starting to play with those settings, with that highest, higher, medium, lower. You're starting to play with those. All right. And yeah, different volatility will have different indicator settings that it needs. Okay. And so the real trick to finding good settings is compromise, right? You look at one part of your chart, you got it just perfect. Well, go left and all of a sudden you see you're buying a top, right? You got a late long, late short. You're going to have to compromise, right? What is a good mix between not getting tops, not getting late longs, late shorts, but still getting some good price action, some good trades in there. All right. So this is really a balancing act, right? And you get used to it, but when you're first starting out, this is something that you're going to have to learn. Okay. And if you risk off too much, then you're not going to have any signals, right? It's easy. Like for our default settings, I could have easily just made it like super conservative, but then everyone would have a blank chart, right? You wouldn't have any trades. That's not going to work, right? We got to have some trades. Same thing when you're seeing, oh, I see this top, I see this late long, and you're just going lower on everything. It's not going to be too good. You're going to have not too many trades, and so that's not going to be good. And of course, on the opposite side, if you risk on too much, you're using degen settings for everything, you're going to catch all the bags. So this defeats the purpose of even having PSAR V5. So we want to find that happy median. Okay, and if something like, I talked about this before. Yeah, if you see something that looks good, you're happy with how your chart looks, go left, back test, see how it looks, right? And our VIPs have the back tester, so you can actually use the numbers. And that's one advantage of VIP, is we do have a back tester. But yeah, if you find that there's a certain point where you're not catching tops and late longs and late shorts, and you're still getting trades, that is the sweet spot. That is when you found that sweet spot where you're getting good trades and not bagging up, leave the chart, create the alert, move on to the next one. All right. So that's enough talk. Let's look at some charts here before we get on to the meat strategy. I'm very excited about the meat strategy because I'm a huge barbecuer. So yeah, so if you're just starting off with the chart, I just want to make sure everybody is aware. You can go down here and select reset, right? You can reset your chart. Okay. And so you just start off with fresh settings. Okay. And you know, when I look at this is Solana, Sol, right? This is a pretty popular alt. Okay. But and so the longs are looking good here, right? Oh, actually, I'm gonna make sure we're reset. I got a whole bunch of stuff in my way here with Zoom. All right, so yeah, you hit this reset settings, okay? And yeah, so yeah, this is looking good on the pump here, right? Woo, we're catching lots of trades, but this is nasty, right? This short degen. Oh, I don't like that at all, right? You're catching short all the way up, and this is really, remember this when we're talking about the meat strategy as well. Okay, degen is where bad things happen, right? And so we're going to move down to short higher here, or short degen, sorry. And how do we save this, right? So first you can turn on divs, right? By default, divs are off for short degen. Okay, so when we turn on divs, you can see let's see what happens here. So we've taken off a few of those very bottom of the shorts here, but we're still catching late shorts. Okay, and so really on this chart here, we really, if we want to avoid these late shorts, we're going to have to really risk off. So I would just go short lower, see how it looks. And this is, okay, that looks better now. So we're shorting, we're not getting caught. We have a little bit of room here to take off those shorts. And again, here, we had late shorts here, they're gone. So this is fine, especially for meat strategy. This also works, okay? And you'll see what I mean in a second. I don't want to spoil too many things about the meat strategy, but lower, sometimes medium will work on this if you want to avoid those late shorts and late longs, okay? And then, oh yeah, I got the 1 inch chart here. So 1 inch is I mean, you can just tell, you know, each price movement is like a block, right? You can tell there's not much volume on this pair, right? It's really a shit coin, as we call them, okay? And so, oh, I'm gonna reset my chart because this is what I want to show you guys. All right, so yeah, with 1 inch, this is something that's highly volatile, and we really need to be able to risk off on it, okay? And so yeah, let's check out an event that happens here. Okay, yeah, on the 15th we had, oh, okay, yeah. So it's not too bad. You know, we have some late shorts here. It's not terrible. You know, they would probably DCA out here, but they're trapping some you know, they're clogging up your bot, so it's not taking these long trades, right? Unless you're using beast mode, which we don't recommend on 3 commas. So you want to be able to free up your bot and not catch these shorts, okay? And this is, again, part of our meat strategy is going to be about these short degen. So let's see what does it here. So so I can turn on our divs, and remember, by default we're on higher anyways. Okay, let's see what happens when we turn on divs. So divs are going to get rid of this low here, but we're still catching these. So you can just go to a medium, and you can see how this is just a systematic process. You know, the divs off is really sorry, divs on is really your first bet with degen, and then you can go in and change these settings, bring it to medium or lower, and actually medium did it. So a little short here, but it gets out, and then you're catching more of these, okay? But you know, this is a little disappointing here as well, right? I don't like the look of this too much. So I would like to get a few more trades, okay? And So this, oh, actually, wait, I have one more thing here. Sort of late long here. I remember seeing a late long here before, but anyways, we'll just get into this part here. All right, so for long higher, okay, we want to be able to catch a few more trades. This is how to risk on, okay, and so yeah, long higher, and so our first bet here is to turn off divs, okay, and we'll let's just see what happens when we turn off divs on long higher, and give it a second here. It's a big script, takes a little while. Okay, and now this looks beautiful, right? You're catching lots of longs in there and getting some good price action. And yeah, but when we do that, and I remember this is what I was going to show you guys. We're getting this late long here. Nasty. I don't want to be bag holding that, right? And so what's going to help us? This is the compromise, right? What means that we can take these trades but not get caught in this late long, okay? And this is where that fine tuning comes in, and it is better to have PSAR V5 advanced because you can really fine tune these things with numbers rather than just these defaults. But it is still possible with defaults, okay? So how can we get rid of that? And well, this. Oh, okay. So for higher, we're just going to move this down to a medium. Okay, and let's see what happens. And there we go. So we don't have this late long. This is the whole thing about compromise is we open up some more trades. We're happy we're getting more trades, but you got to look left, right? And if you happen to have this blip on your chart, right, where you're getting a late long that's going to get bagged up, you want to be able to adjust that. And then we check back here. We're still getting some good longs. And actually, we're not catching the long up here, which I noticed there before. So if we happen to dump here, that's good too. So yeah, that's sort of how we risk off and how we reach compromises and that sort of thing, right? I just want you guys to get really comfortable with going through, right? The default is not always the way. You got to be able to move through. And so first start, especially with the higher and medium, I like to turn divs off. That opens up a few more. And then and if you need to risk off further, move down on your, from higher to medium, from medium to lower, that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. And so our next slide here is the meat strategy. And Todd and I are both big barbecuers, so we love meat. We love being able to. Personally, I love to slow cook meat in the sous vide cooker, which means basically slow cooking meat for 24 to 48 hours and taking my time with it. And it's the same thing with meat, okay? But the idea behind the meat strategy is you don't want to be grabbing those degen trades, right? That we just saw some good examples of that. Degen trades are often the top or the bottom, right? And so this is a good, as I showed you guys already, right? This is where we're risking off. We're trying to make sure that we're not getting caught offside with late longs and late shorts. I mean, this is. We're basically saying degen settings and lower settings, if you really want to get the meat going here, right? Is we're risking off, right? We're on our degen. We want to go, medium, lower, maybe higher, divs on, right? Turn those divs on and go lower or medium, and that you might actually find that you're going to catch less of those late longs, late shorts, tops and bottoms, all those things, because all those things happen in degen especially. And the same thing for lower, okay? Lower, you can also have there's indecision in the market, right? So you'll often see, like here, like we're going into a short lower in the middle of an uptrend. And so there can be trouble that happens during the lower trend condition. So the meat means medium and higher a little bit. Higher you can get caught offside as well. But really, medium is where the magic happens, okay? And so it's a different way of thinking, but it is a great way to catch more trades and catch the meat of the move, which is, you know, you've heard me say this before, but this is really, we're going to cover this a lot right now, okay? And so I want to, I'm going to reset my chart here, and we're going to move over to the CPI dump, which was just, you can see what happened here. Our medium settings don't grab any of this, and you can see how we go lower, medium, and then it starts to go higher down here. We want to be able to catch this part of the move, right? This is where the magic happens, okay? And so let's talk about this now, okay? So how can we get more of this short medium, okay, and not get caught up here and all those kind of things, okay? And so I'm gonna go down to short, medium, okay, right down here. And so my first move, as I told you guys before, is turn off divs. You can see what happens here. And I can already tell you, you know, just a few shorts open up. And this is really, this is the meat of the move, right? This is very, very safe, right? You're catching shorts as soon as we hit medium, and just at this, and we got tons of room to get out. Okay, but how can we bring this up a little bit more? Okay, the next option is short higher. All right, so we're moving up to short higher. We're going to see how that performs. All right, and this is great, right? This we love this, and we're catching a few more shorts and not getting involved anywhere near this low. And you can see here, right? I'm not catching any of these lows, so I'm happy. This looks good to me. All right, and so let's look left. Oh, we're not catching any trades here. Remember, Bitcoin, it's less volatile, so it needs, I would say, more aggressive settings. Okay, and so right now I have us tuned, you know, halfway between BTC and, you know, the lowest market cap alts, you know, top 100 alts. Really, it's somewhere. I really made these settings for ETH and XRP and Link and some of those kind of coins. So it's not going to work in all those cases. So how can we catch more of this anyways? So we're going to look here on long higher, okay? And we want to catch this little pump here and not get caught at the top. So, you know, I could just go crazy long highest and turn everything off, let her rip, right? What's that going to do? It's going to catch the top here, and we're going to get bags, and we're not going to catch anything. We're going to take that bag on this dump here. We don't want that. And so how can we do this better? Okay. First of all, we want to, so the default here is a higher, and we got ADX on. And so how can we play this, right? So the default here, we're not catching anything. So my first move is turn off divs, and we'll see what happens. I don't think much here, right? Because this is outside of the ADX range. So we're going to turn ADX off, and I don't like those up here. So I'm going to move down to a medium here. And so that is pretty much perfect, right? We're catching these great trades in here, not getting pumped here, right? You're not getting involved in the top here, catching those. So that works. And also, you know, if you want to be able to go a little bit higher, you can also go higher, and we can turn divs on. And so what happens to these trades up here? They disappear again. So you can, So that's sort of two options here, right? You can go medium, nothing on, or you can go higher with divs on, and that will kill the top here. All right. But I like the look of medium, everything off. So something to keep in mind with medium is you still have RSI, you still have SAR distance filter that's keeping you out of these. So it actually works pretty well just going lower or medium, divs and ADX off. So maybe you're not thinking about that, but these are actually useful to use for higher and degen, to go medium and lower, divs and ADX off. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that's pretty useful. All right, so that's basically it for PSAR version 5. That's sort of some strategies you guys can use. I want to see everybody getting into your settings, diving in deep, right? Getting into these different settings, looking at your chart, saying, okay, where's the top that's getting caught? Where's the bottom that's getting caught? Where's late longs and late shorts? Right? We know what those look like. So let's get rid of those and then look left. Is it working long term? Back test that strategy. And then once you're happy, once you find the sweet spot, that is when you save your alert and move on to the next pair. All right, guys. So that's it for PSAR V5, and we'll get going with Q&A. And I have the first first question here. Can you have dynamic visibility with PineScript? What Faranek is talking about is basically having, if you're using Wick Hunter, you're only seeing Wick Hunter settings. And if you only see at 3 commas, you only see 3 comma settings. We don't have this ability with PineScript. What I could do is make multiple different versions for each bot platform. And I was thinking about that, especially for Wick Hunter, but it's version control. It's, each, one version will be updated, the other one won't. But yeah, I think the way we have it set out now, they're not really going over each other, too much. There's not too much space taken up by one or the other. So I think it's pretty good now. But yeah, if we get into some really advanced functionality especially with Wick Hunter, then yeah, exactly. Too many versions and debugging and all that, Arun, you got it exactly right. So we do have a back tester, Crypto Lover. We do have a back tester. It's available for VIPs. So it does work with V5 and V5 Advanced, and it's very good. It kind of came from our original back tester, and then we added a whole bunch of stuff, and it's its own indicator. So you add it as a separate indicator, and then you choose which one of the SDP products. It only works with SDP products. But you can attach it to Rapid Fire or SAR, whatever you're using, and it will backtest for you. But these things usually play out a little bit differently in real life, right? Especially because when one trade is open, the next trade can't open until the first trade closes. So yeah, there's realities that come in. So the best way to backtest is just look left on your chart. You got some settings that look good, look left, make sure they're looking good on the rest of your chart as well. All right. Yeah, go left. Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, so I'm open questions, guys. That's sort of what we had in the chat. Does anyone else have any questions? I can look in our Sitting Bull is asking, would you recommend a different setup for spot compared to leverage? So definitely, right? Like leverage, you have more room for DCA and that sort of stuff. Your spot account will sort of max out quickly if you have too many pairs running. So you really want to have fewer pairs and take it easy on the DCA, right? You can have a good spread, but not too heavy on the DCA. Like I would not use my 5th safety order, for instance, on spot, because that will just kill your account really quickly. And not liquidate, right? You're not liquidating on spot, which is, whew, take a breather. It's good, but you don't want to just go through all your ammunition, as Slizzard says. And so yeah, and also spot, of course, no shorts. So it's a trade-off. But one thing that we have been doing in especially in VIP is we've got our Daisy auto transfer script, and Daisy's actually a wonderful mod for SCP as well. She's done an amazing job on auto transfer, basically taking your profits from futures, moving it to spot, and then going with a low risk strategy on spot. So if you're doing it that way, you want your spot just taking the best part, the meat, the best part of the trades, nothing else, no tops, no bottoms, try not to bag up, and just getting, a 0.5% a day, right? At most a 1% a day on spot is just amazing, right? Compounding on a daily basis. That's going to look pretty good after 6 months to a year. Ideal take profit percentage. Now, yeah, so first thing, take profit percentage. Todd touched on this. You don't necessarily want to use percentage for take profit because it will scale as your account grows bigger. And so this is increasing risk, you're increasing your exposure. I prefer to use a dollar value, and actually with the multi-bot with composite bot on 3 commas, it only allows dollar value. And I think this is useful. It allows you to do a gut check, right? A risk check. As your account grows, you have to go in there and calculate a new take profit each time, okay? And a new base order and safety order. Now, as far as take profit percentage, I like to have a 0.2% to 0.3% is really the most that I will do on a scalper. This is a scalper bot. It's not a swing bot, right? You have things like dynamic TP on Wick Hunter, so that can be useful, and it moves a stop loss as you go up. But yeah, as far as take profit percentage, 0.25 or 0.2 is really the safest. In fact, for a while I was using 0.15, but on 3 commas, it will actually time out. It will go into profit and then come out of profit so quickly that 3 commas will not be able to take the trade, and then you lose all your safety orders, and that sucks, because if price dumps on you, not all of a sudden you don't have safety orders, your DCA isn't working, and price dumps, then you're having to do manual everything. So it's really bad. So a 0.2, 0.25 is generally what I use, and some guys are using 0.3. It's fine. Something is, if you get into DCA and you have a bag that you want to get out of, maybe bring down that take profit percentage, because then the whole point of DCA is to bring down your entry. Changing your take profit percentage also brings down your entry. So just consider that. Yeah, 0.25 is a good middle ground, right? So I like that. And yeah, I mean, take profit percentage based on risk profile. Yeah, I mean, like DGen should be in and out quick, right? That should not have a big take profit. I wouldn't necessarily put on the risk by increasing take profit percentage. But yeah, it's something where you do have to be careful not to get stuck in a trade because your TP was too high. All right, so I think that's a good way to think of it. Is scalper is high frequency trading, right? We want to get in and out so that we're ready for the next trade. So think about it that way. I'd rather be in a fresh trade than potentially backing up or just stuck in a trade longer because it's got more of a TP to get to. All right. Now, yeah, I think, yeah, we don't have any other questions. I can kind of see. We had a question about Wick Hunter hosted. Yeah, you're just using UUID for Wick Hunter hosted. It's the email token. And then, yeah, your long and short bot IDs are left blank. And make sure you're not clicking on the Wick Hunter setting changed by trend, because that will just send out a lot of extra alerts that you don't need if you're on 3 commas. But yeah, if you're using it, then definitely have that on, and the bot IDs are blank. And there's some people who are they're like, yeah, have a nice meal note. Yeah. So yeah, on some people are looking at the advanced bot platform settings and looking at like Binance futures. They're choosing it even if they're using Wick Hunter. You don't need to do that, right? Those 3 commas settings are just for 3 commas. Wick Hunter settings are just for Wick Hunter. So don't worry about going across. They have no change to what you're doing. And it can actually mess it up if you select Binance futures and you're on and you're on Wick Hunter, because it's the wrong format. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Yeah, the UUID is basically in your alert text. I'm going to be doing it. Everybody's asking for this Wick Hunter setup video, so that's my next thing after VIP is I'm going to be making a Wick Hunter setup video. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'm going to go through all those things, how to get your UUID and all that. Yeah, and Wick Hunter manual is also very good. Oh, manual trading, Arun, you mean, or like there's a manual that you're using right now? Oh yeah, it's a guide. Yeah. So there's some good videos already on Wick Hunter. If you're kind of stuck on something, just use those videos. And again, it's pretty straightforward what we're talking about here with Wick Hunter. I can do like a, it's just UUID, put in here, your platform, it's Wick Hunter, and then go with trend here. Then you're changing your risk profiles and not worrying about bot ID. That's basically it. You look at the setup video. I went through the same thing Todd went through today, right? Your martingale with 2 times volume scale, or you got the Todd method with 1.49. It's the same thing with Wick Hunter. You got a few extra things like dynamic TP and things, that makes it interesting. But yeah, it's sort of it's all there. Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. I'm glad you enjoyed it today. I think this is a good point. We're 10 minutes over our longest VIP. Unless anyone has any other questions, just shoot them. But I think we're all like, this is the marathon VIP session, which is good value. If you glazed over, like I said, this is available on demand for our VIPs, and for our V5 users, I will post the V5 section. All right. And yeah, so as Arun says, share your P&L, right? I love me some P&L. Show me your profits, and you might be famous. I might put you in a YouTube video here or there. So yeah, so I always appreciate that, and we've had some really nice comments from everybody. Oh, what was the one today? I had a really nice comment. I can't remember, but it was a really nice one about V5 getting in and out of trades and staying and good results. So I love that stuff. The words of encouragement are great. So keep it up, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's profits. And thank you. I mean, 17. We started with 20. We're down to 17. A few people had to go for dinner in Europe. And elsewhere, but thank you guys for sticking around for the VIP marathon, and we couldn't do this without you, the VIPs, and welcome to our new V5 users. And I'm enjoying this. You guys are asking great questions, and it's a great group. And so yeah, so thank you for joining, and we will see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys. Take care.